Hey, what's going on everyone? Welcome back to Shrimp Mania. Today I'm going to give you my 10 tips that I've learned from keeping shrimp over the past 8 years. This video is going to be very informative and it should be very useful for you guys, so make sure you stay around to the end of the video. So tip number 1 is to start with an easy shrimp. If you are new to aquarium shrimp hobby, it's better to start with an easy shrimp like Neocaridina. They're much hardier than other species and they will forgive you some mistakes. Plus, they don't require an active substrate and they can thrive in a high pH range than Caridina species. So tip number 2 is to buy a RO unit. Keeping shrimps is all about water quality and it's important to create ideal water parameters for your shrimp. Tap water in most cases is not ideal for keeping shrimp, and RO unit will strip your tap water from all the minerals and salts, making you pure water. Once you got your RO water, you can then remineralize it with shrimp salts. You can find different salts for different type of shrimp, so make sure you use the right one. So tip number 3 is to do regular water changes. To maintain good water quality, you require regular water changes in your aquarium. The shrimps are very sensitive to any changes in the water parameters, and it's better to change only a small amount of water more often rather than a large amount less often to avoid the big swings in the water parameters. When you change your water, it's important to do it slowly by dripping new water back to the tank. During the time, the water will evaporate from the tank, and it's important to do water top-offs to keep the level of the water the same. Always do your top-offs only with RO water. I would recommend installing an auto top-off system in your aquarium, and if you want to know how to do it, check out this video on my channel. Tip number 4. I would recommend to age your raw water for at least 2 days prior your water change and mix your salts 24 hours in advance. I normally run an air stone in my RO water container and it helps to fully mix your salts, plus it injects the water with plenty of oxygen. Tip number 5. Add some plants to your tank. Plants are very beneficial for shrimps. They suck nitrates from the water and they provide your shrimps with plenty of hiding spaces. I would recommend adding 2 types of plants into your aquarium, mosses and floating plants. Mosses, like for example Java moss, will provide your tank with plenty of surface area which you need for growing more biofilm, and often you will find your baby shrimp grazing on the moss and that will increase their survival rate. The second type of plants are floating plants. They are the best plants to suck up nitrates and will definitely increase the quality of your water. Tip number 6. Use sponge filter in your shrimp tank. Sponge filter is the best for your shrimp tank. This filter not only provides you with a good filtration, polishing your water, it also provides your shrimp with large surface area to graze. Your shrimp will definitely love to hang on it and eat that beneficial bacteria and microorganisms growing on the sponges. You can use it on its own or as a secondary filter. Tip number 7. Always use an active substrate for your Caridina shrimp tank. Caridina shrimp thrives in low pH and active substrate will buffer your water and lower your pH. So before you purchase your active soil, make sure you do some research because not all of the active soils are the same. Some of them are not be able to lower your pH low enough, so try to find a soil with pH 6 or below. I personally prefer to use underground filtration for my Caridina tanks. The soil inside the underground filter works as a media and it buffers your water much better this way because the water is constantly running through the substrate. Active soil is not cheap and it allows you to use much smaller amount of soil in underground filtration compared to traditional methods when your soil is just soaking in the water at the bottom of your aquarium. It's a huge saving if you have many tanks like in my case. Tip number 8. Don't overfeed. You need to understand that the main diet of the shrimps is microflora and fauna which is growing on the surface of your tank, and the food you feed your shrimps is only supplementary. If you have a well-established tank with plenty of algae and biofilm and not many shrimps, you don't need to feed them very often. When you feed your shrimp, always observe how they eat. If they don't come to eat or if they are not very active and eating very slowly, that means they are not hungry, so you better wait for a few days before you feed them again. They have to attack the food and fight for it, so that means they are hungry. Always remove uneaten food from the tank in 2 hours. If you leave it for too long, it can pollute the water. Make sure you check the nitrate level regularly and try to keep it below 10 parts per million. Shrimp can die if your nitrate is above 20. If your nitrate level is high, that means you probably overfeed your tank, so feeding less will help to reduce it. Tip number 9. Always wash your hands before you do something in your tank. Shrimps are very sensitive creatures and have a very simple immune system. They can die from a simple infection which can be present on your hands, so before you do something in your tank, always wash your hands. I would recommend doing it even before you start feeding your shrimp. Try only to put your hands in the tank if it's absolutely necessary, and if you want to move something in your tank, you better to use tweezers. Tip number 10. Keep it simple. There are a lot of products and shrimp supplements on the market, and they all promise to help your shrimps to thrive. What I learned from the past is that I don't need to spend that money, I don't need that products to keep my shrimps happy. So let me explain. Here I have a bee balls. It used to be quite popular product, and if you add these balls into your tanks, they will enhance water quality and shrimp health. So I paid like $30 for them. They must be doing something good, right? I believe that in shrimp keeping less is more. If your shrimps are not breeding, don't force them, just be patient. Sometimes it takes a few months for new shrimps to breed. Just make sure you maintain a good water quality in your tanks with stable parameters, change your water regularly, and I'm sure one day your shrimps reward you with tons of babies. Thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, please drop me a like. I would really appreciate your support.